Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
This is Kutztown Live, Kutztown University's campus and community issues talk radio magazine. You can listen back to any of our episodes of Kutztown Live by going to Spotify and searching Kutztown University Radio. And now, your hosts of Kutztown Live.
And welcome to Kutztown Live here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. It is spring break here on the campus of Kutztown University. So instead of your normal host, Aaron, this week, it is the advisor, Mike Reggs here. And we're going to be joined right now by our weekly or bi-weekly guest host, Lori, who has also a guest of hers as well. So, Lori, happy spring, and take it away.
Thank you, Monsoon Mike. I am loving this spring weather that we're having this week.
Very nice stuff, yep.
It is wonderful. We're about halfway through our spring chamber meeting schedule, and I just want to bring our listeners up to date on what is happening for the next few months at the Chamber, at the Northeast Berks Chamber of Commerce. This month, in fact, next Friday, during Entrepreneurship Week at Kutztown University, we will be hosting our monthly breakfast meeting on Friday, March 20th, and we're very excited to have the Family Business Panel as the featured presentation for our meeting. Thanks to Kutztown University College of Business, the sponsor of our breakfast meeting. This particular month, the registration is free of charge, and we already have over 60 attendees registered for this session. If you'd like to register for the meeting next Friday the 20th, you have until this Thursday to get your registration in at northeastberkschamber.com. Scroll down the left side of the home page, and you'll find the registration links for March as well as April and May. Coming up in April, we have a wonderful speaker who's well known in Berks County and beyond. His name is Justin Shank from the Growth Now movement, and our nonprofit partner for that breakfast meeting will be Concern, and it is sponsored by K-Town Hall and East Penn Manufacturing, and in fact, it'll be held at DECA in their beautiful conference center overlooking their industrial park. That'll be held on Friday, April 17th. And again, registration is open and available on our website at northeastberkschamber.com. We always finish the year in May, this year on May 15th, with an education forum. We have wonderful partnerships with our Northeast Berks school districts, and they will be hosting an internship panel at the Lions Fire Company. That'll be sponsored by Elite Business Solutions on May 15th. Again, at the Lions Fire Company, registration is also open for that meeting. Last but not least, next week on Wednesday, March 18th, I will be moderating an entrepreneurship panel. The panelists are 6 women entrepreneurs, and that will be followed by a networking lunch. Also part of Entrepreneurship Week, it's a wonderful partnership opportunity for the Northeast Berks Chamber and the College of Business and the Entrepreneurial Leadership Center to produce a very popular program each year. This will be the 4th time we've partnered with the College of Business. That is also a free registration. It is open right now. If you go to kutztown.edu and go to the Entrepreneurship Week tab, you'll find the free registration there. But please do so quickly because we also have over 60 registered for that program. Today, I'm very honored to introduce 2 guests from a newer member of the Chamber called Keystone Warriors in Shoemakersville. Keystone Warriors is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that honors the daily sacrifices made by the brave men and women in all branches of the United States military, and specifically those wounded on or after September 11th, 2001. My guests today are Paul Spurgeon, who is a co-founder of Keystone Warriors, and Amy Blevins, and Amy is involved with fundraising and event planning. Welcome, Paul and Amy. Thanks for coming. Thank you. You're welcome. Paul, since you're one of the co-founders of Keystone Warriors, why don't you tell us how the organization began? How did it get started? Whose idea was it? And when did you form the nonprofit?
Well, we actually formed in 2009 after the Toys for Tots run. And we had found that at that point in time, if I don't want anybody to have to go back in memory, but the economy was pretty bad and the Marine reserves were being laid off. So we had asked the Toys for Tots Foundation if we could provide toy packages to those reserves who had children without going through the normal process. And of course they said no, we have a protocol you have to follow. And of course, being Marines, we ignored that and did it anyway. However, we figured we could only get away with that once. So then the co-founder with me, Sam Johnson, said, let's do something different. Let's have a 5K at Alvernia University and try to raise some funds and try to help or at least support other organizations that are doing a good job. And so we started actually December of 2009, and the first race was May of 2010. That's how we got started. And so this a little over 10 years now, over 1,600 families we have helped through transition at a cost of about $2 million.
Well, you had a very ambitious goal, but obviously you were able to really quickly implement the process of getting the nonprofit up and running and starting to raise money. Now, when you're raising money, Amy, let me ask you this question because you're involved with fundraising. Where do the funds go, and what kind of fundraising activities do you typically organize?
I am actually fairly new. So since I have started in August of last year, our goal and how we're raising funds and stuff is to get out in front of the public, to attend as many events as possible. Actually, the first event that I suggested we do when I came on was the Berks County Wine Festival. That was the first time that we'd ever been there.
Was that the Taste of Kutztown?
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was the one in Strausstown.
Yes,
At
I'm
Pat Garrett's.
familiar with that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a very, for me, it was eye-opening. It was very friendly. The people were awesome. And for a small gathering that it was, we did very well for our first time ever being there. That's pretty much how we do our fundraising. We attend events. We have a couple that are coming up this year.
Will you be at the Lions Fiddle Fest?
We will be at the Lions Fiddle Fest. Yes, we will. That is I think we've been there before, I was told.
Where?
At the Fiddle Fest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will be there
4
again.
years, and then they didn't invite us, and then we found out they did, but they never called us. Just joking.
I'm sure you were always invited. The Lions Fiddle Festival is also a member of the Chamber. So
Yes.
it makes sense that you joined the Chamber a few months ago.
Yes.
To make those kind of connections and get involved in different types of community events and networking activities so you can raise awareness.
Yes, that is one of the main goals for us becoming a member with the Northeast Berks Chamber, was to have the connections, to have the people.
Now, you're located in Shoemakersville.
Correct.
If our listeners want to learn more about what you do and how they can contribute to Keystone Warriors, how can they contact you?
We do have a website. It is www.keystonewarriors.org. They can learn about us there. We also have a PayPal option on the website where they can go and donate. We also have our gear locker, which is connected to the website, that they can donate for. We have T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, beanies. We're actually adding new product that we have daily, on a daily basis. We're going to be adding.
They make a cash donation, and then those clothing items go to your clients.
They have a choice. If they make a $20 donation, a hat or T-shirt would be their choice of a hat or T-shirt.
Yeah.
And it goes that way. We can't use the word sell, so it is a donation.
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Now, speaking about, again, raising money, what are some of the needs that you're helping to fulfill through your work at the nonprofit?
It ranges. Within the last 4 or 5 months that I've been there, we have helped several different veterans with household needs, whether it be supplying oil so they have heat, helping with their electric, helping with mortgage payments, when they've hit that really rough spot and they just need that little bit of a hand. It's a hand up. We are not giving them handouts. We are not
giving them a hand up, not a handout.
Yep, we are giving hand ups, not handouts. Just helping them through that rough patch that they're in, just to get that little bump.
So how many veterans are you able to help in a year, for example, typically?
In the last year it was 25, I believe.
During the peak of Afghan and Iraq, it was 150 to 200 a year. So now we're not into an actual combat zones, if you want to put it that way. And so that's dropped down quite a bit. However, we still get, those who were injured, who at the time they were injured did not need assistance. They now come to us, and so it's why we did a little bit of modification to our name. It used to be Keystone Wounded Warriors. We dropped wounded out of it because we were told that those suffering PTSD would not call us because they did not consider it a wound. So when we dropped that out of our name, our assistance raised by 30%, more or less.
That's interesting. And are you serving Berks County or beyond Berks County?
The whole state.
It's the whole state of Pennsylvania.
State.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Amy, I know that there's a special event coming up, the 7th annual golf tournament in May.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us about that?
We have been fortunate enough to pair with Hogan's and Citronia, the Citronia Fire Company in Allentown. And this will be the 7th year that they have put on this golf tournament to help raise funds for Keystone Warriors. Currently, we are looking for golf registrants. It's a 4-man team, is what it is. They're looking for anybody who wants to play golf, wants to come out for a 4-man scramble. We have some information. It's a long day of golf.
And where is it held?
It is held at the Shepherd's Hill Golf Club in West Coastville. It's 1160 Crocs Road is the address. If anybody is interested, who is listening, to come golf or check it out or whatever, feel free to contact. You can contact myself at the website, the Keystone Warriors, or you can contact me directly at 484-721-6207 for information or to register for the event.
Are there any other donations sought other than playing
we
golf?
Okay. We are there. They are whole donations. It's $50. We can do. It's called a sign. They do a sign for the holes. It's
like
a $50
a whole sponsor.
Yeah,
right?
whole sponsor.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
That's a $50 donation, which we'll able to place at the holes for them. They can do regular simple donations. We are looking for gifts as well for the golfers. We have roughly 144 is the amount of gifts that we're looking for.
Okay.
Whether it be baskets, coupons, gift cards, whatever they're willing to offer.
If any of our listeners are chamber members, or even if they're not chamber members, they can go to northeastberkschamber.com, go to the digital directory under the business directory tab, and they can find your organization in our directory with live links for the website and email. So that'd be another way for them to reach you.
Yes.
If they'd like to contribute or participate in any way.
Yes, that is.
All right. Are there any closing remarks you have about Keystone Warriors that you'd like everyone to know? Any final thoughts, Paul?
Well, I think you part of your question is where do we earmark the funds that we receive? And so to answer that, it's we've always said that wounds or injuries post 9/11. Now that we're not getting that because of no actual mass combat going on, so we also help. I guess the one that's nearest to me was last May. I'll do this quick. I was getting ready to go to New Zealand, and my youngest daughter and I had stopped in Los Angeles, and I got a call from our contact in Philadelphia, and this is hard for me, so bear with. from my contacts said, Paul, are you setting? And I said, why? This lady says that, it's, what happened and what do we got to do? And so she had told me that a Marine that lived in the Philly area, Silver Star, Bronze Star, a real war hero, his 5-year-old had crawled underneath the pool cover and drowned. And so was not a good start to my trip. So what we've done just last week, we get baby clothing all the time, and this is going to be a baby boy. I think she gave birth last Sunday. We sent 65 pounds of baby clothing from birth all the way up to age 5. Wow. And then diapers anytime they need it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just a matter of paying a bill.
Sure.
It's whatever they need to help them get back on their feet. So it made me feel good. It's also good therapy for me. Mm-hmm. So that's basically how we distribute the money. And if they qualify, then, like everybody else, we have a cap. We can't just be limitless. But we get we've done pretty good in the last 7 years trying to eliminate, let's say, 90% of scamming. Mm-hmm. And so that happens all the time. But all the money goes to a veteran, or it would go to a civilian who has helped veterans. So we try to be fair with everyone. Mm-hmm. And that's really about it.
Well, I think you're providing a tremendous service. Thank you for joining the Chamber. Thank you for being on Kutztown University Radio with us today.
Thank you for having us.
And I hope that doing so will bring some new supporters to your organization.
We hope so, too.
All right, and we'll see you back here in 2 weeks, Lori.
All right. Thank you, Mike.